Alright, here we have the test for the bridge. We're going to do a semi-decent torser test on this. Here we can see that it functions as normal. We have 2 set screws in there, not all 3. All 3 is unnecessary. Forgot to turn on the GoPro right here. Checking to make sure that's on. We're going to start out with some shoulder level drops. This is directly onto the bottom of the dovetails, and then it looks good. And then now we're going to drop it on the back. Okay, and it looks like it landed right on the rear top. Next we're going to drop it forwards, and looks like it landed towards the top again. This is going to be because it's just top heavy. And then again, an upside down drop. Kind of hard to get this to land exactly where you want it to. Now we're going to toss it in the air. This is, about a 8 to 9 foot drop. And then we are going to take it and really toss it in the air. Disappears from frame, comes down pretty hard. Still functions as normal. The arms just bend a little bit, they articulate, but that's it. And way up there, this one actually went off camera, didn't expect that. But as like the rest of the drops, it was totally fine. So now we're going to escalate it by throwing it into the ground. Okay, a little bit more force there. Looks totally fine again. And so then we're going to spike it a bit harder from higher up. And this is giving a decent amount of force. And everything looks good. So we are going to take this and really give it a toss. And again, looks good again. Everything functions as normal. The bridge passed those tests by far. And then here is going to be the photos. Here's going to be the front, back, and top. These are going to show the amount of damage that occurred. Everything stayed in place. The levers did not come out. The springs did not come out. None of the set screws backed off. We have a video here showing that the bridge did loosen the articulation slightly, but that's totally fine. Not a big deal. This would just be because I did not lock it down fully, and everything functions as normal. Short of chucking this as hard as I can into a wall, don't know what else to do to show that it'll be fine. All that happened to it is some cosmetic dings and scratches. That is it. Thank you. Alright, so here we have the dual just dovetail bridge. This is the same one that I tested, has the dings on it. As you can see, the IPD sliders work. The levers function as normal. The levers are in there, and then the articulation is normal. There's a little ding on top from tossing into the ground. I'm going to give this my best baseball impression and throw it into that wall. So here we go. So full force, did break it. But that was, as you could tell, about as hard as you could throw something. And the only thing that did break was the actual dovetail. That looks like it's going to be just because it's thin, but that's easily replaced. As you can tell, the rest of the bridge, the arms and the actual sliders themselves are perfectly fine. The dovetail is going to stay latched, the articulation works, and the sliders work. This is just going to be a physical weakness of the amount of material on the actual dovetail latch. But like I said, that's easily replaceable. That's not a big deal to replace. It's not the whole thing out of function. With your device in there and something locked in, likely this is not going to happen. This only happened because there's nothing in there holding it on. But as you can tell, throwing it as hard as I can will break it, but when's the last time you actually chuck something as hard as you could into a wall? Thank you.